Hey, we're Saints. Father Chris here. Welcome to our Crucifixional Life stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us. We talked yesterday about, something that many of us face, how to reconcile with someone who we've been estranged with. We called it someone who's a jerk. And I mean that not because people are necessarily jerks, but when we get angry with another person, we tend to look at them as a jerk. And I know they tend to look at us as jerks also. That's the reason why there is an estrangement and a fractured relationship. So in yesterday's episode, we talked about that fighting that temptation that when you got to reconcile, not even because you're wrong, but just because you want that healing, that freedom, that lightness of not having a fractured relationship. There is that temptation to say, maybe I'm not going to apologize. Maybe I'm not going to seek reconciliation because I don't want that person to gloat. I don't want that person to tell me that I was wrong. I don't want that person to win, right? Like that's a big temptation that we face. As I mentioned in a story yesterday, there was a relationship that I held very dear, I was very close with, became fractured for whatever reason, and, had remained there. And as I was thinking about this episode and, some things that we're doing on it, I fell into that temptation, like, how am I going to call and, like, I'm right? Right? In the situation, I was actually right. I mean, it's like verifiable, but I was tempted to not seek that reconciliation because I didn't want them to win, right? And so I confronted it. So how do we do that? What is Jesus calling us to? He's calling us to something very, very different, right? Like in Matthew chapter 5, we saw yesterday in the Sermon on the Mount, he starts with a very clear self-evident statement, thou shalt not kill, right? He's talking about the Old Testament. It's clear, we get it. But he's telling us you're a warrior saint, or at least if you want to be, you got to go one step higher. Rather than just not killing people, thank you, don't be angry, right? In the next verse, which we're going to see in a moment, he levels us up even further. Not only should you not kill, not only should you not be angry, but if your brother has something against you, he's commanding you to go fix it. On your screen, you see the verse from Matthew chapter 5. So if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there, remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go. First, be reconciled to your brother, and then come offer your gift. Like, pretty strong words. But what he's saying is, don't even come to me. Not to me, but to God, right? Don't even come to me. Don't make an offering. For those of us who are Orthodox Christians or Roman Catholics, or at least high liturgical Protestant Christians, don't you dare come looking for Holy Communion if you realize your brother has something against you. Go fix it, right? First, I want y'all to be reconciled before you come to the cup. Right? That's pretty strong words. And it's literally the next level up. That's serious warrior sainthood if we can get there. So how do we do that? Because that temptation that I felt as I was telling us yesterday and today, and that temptation that probably all of us feel to not want to reconcile because we don't want to lose or perceived as losing or let the other guy or other girl have, even a smidge of victory. How do we overcome that so that we can go and reconcile, right? Now, that's a very difficult thing to do, and I understand it. But I want to tell you something, and I'm going to hopefully encourage you to visit warriorsaints.org and follow this three-step plan. The reason I'm going to give you this plan is because we have just posted I think, forgive if it sounds arrogant, but I'm proud of it, a very, very good teaching on this very, very, very subject itself. Let me try that again in English. We've posted what I believe to be an excellent lesson on this very topic, right? How do we reconcile? We call it harshly, how do we reconcile with a jerk, right? And that may be that we're the one too, so keep that in mind. All of that to say, if you follow this three-step plan, you're going to have those tools to do that yourself. Number one, visit warriorsaints.org. It's our website. When you get there, number two, subscribe to the Way of the Warrior Saint. This is our online teaching database. Number three, watch the video titled How to Reconcile with a Jerk. It's that simple. Visit, subscribe, watch. When that happens, you're going to get some legit biblical teachings and some legit practical tools, and maybe even a change in mindset on how you can overcome this temptation and seek and perhaps even accomplish reconciliation. Love you, beautiful people. As always, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.